Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we've got more sneak peeks for the upcoming Captain Marvel update, and we also have some other things that confirm that the update is coming very soon, as I kind of predicted. But first I have to address, yes, this is a new sound you might be hearing. It's a different kind of room. I'm in a different kind of space. I'm obviously in a different place temporarily. So, yeah, just deal with it. Deal with the greasy forehead. I know. Make all the jokes you want. I can't wait to hear all about it. The man bun hipster, cook a fried egg on my forehead kind of Cynicalex looking dude. Hit me with your best roast, and I promise you won't regret it. Anyways, moving on to the more important stuff. Get ready for the next update. Complete the event quest, collect the event tokens, and you will unlock or get bios for a new character. So what exactly does this mean? Well, when you close this, you will see at the bottom, right after the other event expired, to get the lunar tokens, we now have that same green icon back up at the bottom right there in the corner, and if you click that, you will see that you can get up to 80 tokens per day. You're going to get 8 days worth of tokens, so that's a total of 560 tokens, which is awesome. Or sorry, 7 days for 80 tokens, which is a total of 560 tokens. Anyways, math, definitely my strong suit. So what does this mean? This means that the update will coincide with the end of this event, which means that you can see the update timer right here. The update's going to land in approximately 6 days, 8 hours as I'm recording this video, which is amazing. It also means that the update is going to come probably close to 2 weeks before the actual movie, which is even crazier. So we should expect some minor spoilers. I mean, would you actually stop playing Marvel Future Fight for 2 weeks because you don't want Captain Marvel spoilers? Hell no! So just suck it up, crybaby, because it's going to be absolutely epic. And hopefully they've learned from their past year with the Black Panther MCU update, and they've kind of refined it. We loved the Ant-Man and the Wasp MCU update because of the CTP selector, and actually some people have already been suggesting possibly a card selector as an extreme battle reward, which would be very, very cool. We have the selector right here for the CTP, so if we could get a premium card selector or another CTP selector, that would be amazing, or just more energy CTPs, please. But that's not all, folks. Yes, for the low price of $0, we also got ourselves a sneak peek, which is amazing. So I wanted to cover both of these for you guys. Gotta get that 10 minutes, gotta make it work. So here's what the teaser says. CM Fragment reporting in with some super secret news for everyone. It actually spoils the teaser if we go on the Twitter post, so I suggest for this one, or I just decided to only show you the Mobram post. After spending a lot of time being a spy, the reference to Nick Fury, I was sent to different places, different countries, and some shady locations. This time, I found something really interesting. It seems that there are strange ritual marks near the place I was sent to investigate. This is not Braille, and this is also not Killmonger's back after he dives into some sort of blue ink pool. It's something else entirely. Identify the strange marks. Well, at the bottom you can see here that the text here is all underlined. Usually underlined text means that something could be a hyperlink. So basically what you have to do is you have to click all of the individual words until you find the one that is the word that is actually a link, or you can just drag your mouse across it slowly. And if you drag it to the word investigation, you'll see that your kind of little eye turns into a clicker. You can click investigation and you will see this is the sneak peek. This is Ronan. Of course it's Ronan. Who else could it be? It's Ronan, my dudes. It's Ronan, my bronin. So yeah, it's not my nan, it's my Ronan. Okay, if you guys remember that joke, props to you if you remember that. And if you don't know what this is from his chest plate. He's got the markings there. And you also, if you go back to the investigation, if you read the wording really carefully, they talk about recognizing a marker, and they talk something about justice or something about kind of punishment, and that is kind of Ronan's marker as the accuser, and kind of the meter out of punishment to those who deserve it. He's kind of the judge, jury, and executioner, as it were, in certain cases. So this means that we can expect, and if you're wondering where the X's come from, it's right there, right on his chest, boys. We can expect a new kind of updated version of this look as a new uniform for Ronan. And this is actually really important because he is a universal villain, which is a very important tag. He's male, he's very free-to-play friendly, so it's possible that he could be a nice option for people who don't have Anti-Man or who don't have Doctor Doom for the ABX date. I mean, there's a wild outside chance that he could actually be better than Doctor Doom, better than Victorious for Universal Supervillain Day. Very outside chance. but it is possible. As far as what I would like for Ronan, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Ronan fan. I mean, I'm casually at rank 62 for Ronan because I just love the character so much. And there's just so much wrong with him. He's got a lot of cool skills and sort of abilities that were very meta at the time that he was introduced. So if you guys don't remember, and I don't blame you if you do, if you don't, when Ronan came out, he was one of the only characters who had multiple abilities with stun and guard break and fear and snare and things like that. His second skill has a guard break, his first skill has a guard break, his third skill has a fear, his fourth skill has a guard break, his fifth skill has a buff. He's also got a snare on another skill that's not shown. So he's very crowd control heavy, and he was once a PvP god because he could just trap you in this barrage of stuns and snares and fears, and you just never get through it. But you know, now we have debuff leaderships, now we have crowd control down, so it just doesn't work anymore. And his 3-second fear lasts for 1 second, if any. And that kind of sucks. His tier 2 passive also really sucks. It just gives all allies 20% ignore dodge. I mean, this is basically half of Ancient One's tier 2 passive, which obviously is terrible. Even Wiccan has a better tier 2 passive than Ronan. Additionally, he does have a good passive. It's a 10% HP shield when he gets hit, but it's only a 5% chance, and it's on a 40-second cooldown. Now, if this was a shield, let's say of 50% of max HP, if the cooldown was 4 seconds so that it could constantly be refreshed, or maybe it was, 12 seconds, and if it was instead of a 5% chance, a 50% chance, then it would actually be good. Probably the only part of his kit that I want them to keep or buff is his leadership. He's got a very strong leadership, one of the best in the game. All universal types on his team, whether they're superheroes or supervillains, will get a 36% attack and defense buff. So at the very least, with his new uniform, Ronan will still be a very good support/leadership character, because on top of the 36% all attack, all defense, if you have him tier 2, you will also get 20% ignore dodge, which makes him somewhat useful for things like Corvus World Boss Ultimate. But this is pretty much stretching it. So what can they actually do to fix Ronan? Well, besides changing around the effects of his passive, which I think could be very good, hostile adaptation, I just think he needs way more damage. His skills have no damage whatsoever. They're all of his skills are like 5 hits or less. So imagine that. All of the damage, only 108% of his energy attack, which is, by the way, is only at 16,500 with my cards and a legendary uniform. Sorry, let me equip this uniform. It's a little bit higher. It's 18,000. I lied. But still, with a legendary uniform, it's only at 18,000. It could be way higher. And with so few hits, it just doesn't do enough damage. He does pitiful damage. It's just not even close. But at the very least, we can expect a new uniform plus level 70, gear 25. So that means that there is the possibility for new life to be breathed into Ronan. And I think most of all, he just needs a damage buff. If they can just quadruple or kind of like multiply his damage by 10, I think it would actually be meaningful. But it literally needs to be that kind of a facelift, that kind of a change for the character, because a small upgrade is really not going to have an effect. He's honestly on the level of She-Hulk before she got her uniform. How many times did you use She-Hulk? Exactly. And he doesn't even have as good of a leadership as she has. So he has even less value if he doesn't get a monstrous Winter Soldier type, War Machine type buff. I know his name doesn't start with W, Netmarble, but please, R is close enough in the alphabet to W that you guys need to do my boy Ronan a solid and give him this kind of... This is exactly what he needs. He's basically useless without this type of upgrade. Does he need Ignore Iframe and does he need all these crazy meta buffs? No. He just needs tons of damage, crazy pumped up, juiced out, steroided damage, and he needs a bit more survivability. And you know what? I'll use the hell out of Ronan. I think he's awesome, and he'll have definitely some function. He'll basically take the role of the male version of Morgan Le Fay, which I think is a reasonable place to put him. I don't expect Ronan to be a god after this update, but I think if they do those two things for him that I just mentioned, he could be like Morgan Le Fay. And I think that's pretty reasonable, and I think that's a pretty nice place to put him. Not every character can be a god. Not every character can be completely dominant. While I would love Ronan to be super dominant and be like top 10 best characters in the game, I can satisfy myself, and maybe this can rub off and have an impression on you guys. I can satisfy myself, I swear I can, if he's just usable. So I'm hoping for that, and without going into too much detail, because I don't want to get my hopes up and then be totally crushed, I just hope that they, I'm looking forward to seeing how much they will buff this character, because they have a lot of buffing to do with Captain Marvel as well. It seems that this is an update that's going to revive a lot of dead or dying characters, so it's going to be very interesting to see and to watch. I honestly didn't think Ronan was going to get a uniform because his look is so similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's not a main character in this movie. I assume it's more about, you know, Jan Rog or Captain Marvel. I mean, mostly about Captain Marvel, but I mean, even Nick Fury probably has more screen time than Ronan. But it seems that we're going to be getting both. So both Captain Marvel and Ronan, the revival of the universal free-to-play types is coming. So all you players out there who are investing in the Ultimates, maybe you should slow your roll, because there may be some new players on the block. I mean, if Ronan's better than Ant-Man, just imagine that. You can get Ronan easily from a 6-star selector, and back in the day I had to spend actual money to get Ronan bios because they weren't available anywhere in the game. I know, wild, right? You couldn't farm bio selectors back in the day. You had to straight up pay for them out of your pocket. So I was paying $10 for 100 bios back in 2015 for Ronan's. Well, you could farm his special missions. They don't have them anymore, but you could farm his special missions back in the day. I think now he's available through Dimension Rifts, yeah. But back in the day, you couldn't even get bio selectors for characters at all. So that is the catch-up. That is the place that we find ourselves for the update. It's coming faster than we thought, and we're getting more than we thought. Nick Fury, uniform for Captain Marvel, uniform for Ronan. What is next? What is the crystal ball telling you is in store for us for the Captain Marvel update? I'm getting more hype than ever. My boy Ronan's finally getting some love. I hope it's a lot of love for Valentine's, but I'll be happy with whatever he gets. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to support me. Hit me up on Twitch for more. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.